Well, hey guys, hope you're doing great today. I'm so excited to be talking about the 5 reasons that your business can't run without you, and probably why you'll never be able to sell it. And if I've never met you before, my name is Casey Graham, and I'm just excited to be here with you to talk about this because I love helping owners. I love helping business owners be successful. I love helping leaders get to the next level. And one of the things I see with business owners is that we have this mindset and we have this idea and we have these thoughts that one day we're going to be able to sell our business, that one day the business is going to run without me, that one day I'm going to be able to go on a vacation, turn my cell phone off, and not have to answer the phone. The other thing we think is that maybe one day that I'm not going to have to drive all the thinking in the business, because that's a huge thing. Is like, I always have to come up with the new ideas. I always have to come up with the new thing. I'm constantly the person, as the owner, as the leader of the business, as the president, whatever your title is, as the entrepreneur, that I'm the one driving the business. And you feel like your staff comes to you for everything, or maybe your contractors, and that you're renting your brain out all the time to all these other people, and all the people in your business or the people around your business is based around you. Even if it's a services business, or if it's a product business, if it's a retail business, even if it's a restaurant, it doesn't matter. Is that there's a constant feel as the owner that it revolves around me, that the decision making, that the financials, and it doesn't mean that you necessarily do everything. It just means that you drive a lot of the businesses. So I'm going to walk through the 5 reasons your business cannot run without you. And in each side of the knot, there is an is, and I'm going to give you a solution for each one. And I think these things are huge. And you may say, if you don't know me, and this is the first time that we've interacted, who are you? Like I said, I'm Casey Graham. I've started a company. It was about 8 years ago I started the company, ran it for 8 years, started it from absolute scratch, went through many different iterations, went to $80,000 in debt, almost went out of business, the whole story, did the whole thing for the first 4 years, and then finally found a coach and a couple of mentors that helped me figure out, how do you create a business that runs without you? And over a period of about 4 to 5 years, created that business that ran without me. And not only did it run without me, and not only were I able to take, literally, I just got back from 2 weeks, no technology in the Cayman Islands. Last year was 21 days in Italy with no technology, no phone, no computer, none of that kind of stuff. Literally, I was able to just go away from the business. And I didn't like being away all the time. I like being in business, but I could go away. I could get away. Being able to do that. How was I able to do that? And then ultimately sell the company for a significant multiple that allowed me to have the exit that only entrepreneurs really dream of. And most entrepreneurs and business owners think they can sell their business, but they really can't. And it's this pipe dream, and most businesses die with the founder. Most businesses die with the entrepreneur. And so maybe this can help you, this training can help you not do that. So that's what we're going to do. I can't wait to help you. So we're going to dig in. All right, here we go. Number 1, the first reason why your business can't run without you is that you hire to your weaknesses. That's number 1. You hire to your weaknesses. You have bought into the coaching, to the lie is really what it is, that the way to grow a business is to hire to your weaknesses. That is true. It's the way to grow a business, but it's not the way to create a business that runs without you. The way to create a business that runs without you is to hire to everything, and more importantly, to hire to your strengths as the business owner. And you say, what are you talking about? I thought I was supposed to hire to my weaknesses. I was supposed to delegate my weaknesses. Delegating your weaknesses will get you growth. It will not get you scale. Delegating your weaknesses will get you some time freedom, but it will not get you to where the business is growing without you. Because the key to creating a sellable or even a business that runs without you is not one that just necessarily can even maintain without you. Because you know as well as I do that if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. If you're not growing the business is going backwards. And so if you can't have people in your business that grow your business while you're away, or while you're not the person that is pushing the business forward, then you can never create a business that runs without you. And the running is about the growing. So do you have the people around you? So hiring to your weaknesses, great first step If you want to be an average entrepreneur that has a little lifestyle business and you make some good money, that's wonderful. And again, don't tune out now if you're just wanting a lifestyle company that you've got to be involved in. And sure, you may make a big income or that kind of thing, but you don't truly create a business that runs without you. So this is just for those people. So this is where you've been tricked. And I think the skill set of hiring to your strengths is a skill set that's not talked about enough. And it's a skill set that is extremely hard because hiring to your weaknesses is easy. You just don't want to do that stuff. And a specific example of my life in the business is that when I started out, I loved sales and marketing. That's what I got into. I'm a sales guy, and I wanted to sell and market. And so the business for about 6 years was dependent upon Casey, me, pushing the business forward as a sales and marketing guy. But the problem with that was that it was dependent on me as a sales and marketing guy. And so even as I got delegated the financials and the operations and the product creation, it still came down to I was the one waking up every single day thinking about this whole idea of how do you get the business to the next level? How do we get this thing to grow? And that's what my role was. And it was extremely hard for me to let go of that because I felt like if I let go of driving revenue in the business, that nobody would care. It wasn't that they couldn't even do it as much as I wanted to, do as well as I do. It was that they wouldn't care about it as much as I did because I was the owner. This was my livelihood. The business started with me in an 8x8 in my house. They said it was a room, but it was really just a closet. And that's where I started. And I felt this pressure to always hang on to that. The best decision I made was hiring a vice president of sales and marketing. And literally finding a person, not only that was more skilled than I was, but they cared about it. They went to conferences about it. They learned more about it. And then what I really realized over time is I don't really like sales and marketing that much. I like creating content and being a contributor of like doing videos like this and a podcast, the 7-Figure CEO podcast. I love doing those kind of things. I love being curious and asking questions to business owners, but I do not care at all, not one bit, about being the person that drives the sales and marketing. I think it's important, but I don't think it's the thing that I need to be doing. So that's the first thing I would say. Number one is that you hire to your weaknesses. That's the number one reason why you can't have the business runs without you. Number two is that you do more than you delegate. You do more than you delegate. So business owners that say stuff like, I see it on Twitter all the time. I see it on Facebook. I see the little quotes that come out and it's all about hard work. And they say, hard work's where it at, or I'm up early, I'm hustling, I'm working hard. Anybody, and again, I'm not against hard work. And especially when you're starting something from scratch, hard work is where it's at. But if you are addicted to being the person that is doing the work, any of it, you are not going to be able to transition into being the CEO or the president of the company that delegates the work. Now, I truly believe that 5% of your skill set, 5% produces 95% of the major upside results in your business. That just 5%. That you've got something so unique that only you do, that if you could tap into that and only do that, that could produce 95% of the upside results. However, the majority of people and business owners I know is that they're caught up in the operations of the business and they're doing things. And not only is it that you're doing stuff, is that you know information that you shouldn't know, that you're involved in things that you shouldn't be involved in. You've got to make a point and a decision to say, if it's operational, I am out of it. Now, it doesn't mean that you disconnect to where you don't know the operations. It just means that you get reports about them. And here's a huge thing, is that so many people's staffs are renting their brain. And it's just everybody's coming to you saying, I want to pick your brain, I want to pick your brain. And if there's an operational decision in customer service or an operational decision that happens in some area, it's constantly come back to the owner or to the leader, and we have conversations about it. You've got to get to the point to where you create the skill set, and it's really a skill set, to not allow your team to rent your brain. I'm not saying you're not a team player, but you can't be somebody that allows your team to rent your brain, because if you do, they're going to depend on your brain and they're going to always kind of come back to you. It's always going to be, I wonder if they're going to be okay with this decision. And so there's a skill set in delegating not only tasks, but how do you delegate decision making? So we have a quiz that you can go to, CaseyGraham.com/score. CaseyGraham.com/score. And on that quiz, it walks you through some of these things. And one of the biggest things is delegating the decision making to other people on your staff and other people on your team. So that is a huge thing. That's number 2. You do more than you delegate. Are you doing more or are you delegating more? People should make fun of me. Literally, people make fun of me. Even my neighbors, they say, what do you do? I have people even on my staff, they say, Casey doesn't do anything. And people kind of poke fun. You don't do anything. Well, listen, doing stuff is the fastest way to make the business dependent on you. When you start the business, you got to do everything. But you should be relentless about creating stop doing lists and getting out of everything you can and delegating to other people. Are you going to do that? All right, number 3 is this. You think you know what you don't know, okay? Now, this one's funny because I fell into this. Growing business owners, and this is especially true for people who make good money in their business, is that especially if you're a growing business or you're a successful business, is that you have this idea that you know what you need to do next to get to the next level. And because your gut early on was telling you that if you did these things, you get to the next level, and maybe you applied some things and you got to the next level. And you oftentimes think, I know what I need. But here's the reality. The thing that kept me stuck for probably about 2 years, our business was growing. But the thing that kept the business still dependent on me is that I kept thinking I knew the kind of coaching and the kind of resources that we needed to get to the next level. So if I was going to go to a conference or hire a mentor or this kind of stuff, is that I was going to the same pools and the same ponds that I guess most people go to in the popular conferences and the popular stuff that was happening. I would go do that kind of stuff. And what I did not realize is I kept going after, I was in search for what's called hard skills. Hard skills are how do you grow the business? But what I didn't know is that the transition from getting the business to run without me was not about the hard skills of growing a business. And that's what entrepreneurs are all about. It's like sales and marketing is like king. It's Mark Cuban, sales cures all. Well, that's wonderful. And sales does do a lot of great things. But here's what it doesn't do. It doesn't teach you the soft skills of how to transition into being a business owner or to being a CEO. And out of my life, what I did is I stumbled upon this webinar with 2 guys that were CEO coaches of Fortune 100 companies. And I remember being on this, and I remember listening and listening to what they had to say. And it was the first time that my eyes were open to, there is an entire new world. It was like the first time I ever truly went out of the country. And I went to a foreign country and I was like, I had no idea. Like I've seen pictures and this, I had no idea. It broadened my ideas. And I didn't even know about the skills that I was supposed to know about. I didn't even know about the ideas I didn't even know people thought the way I thought I knew how a CEO acted. I thought I knew what I needed to do next. I did not know. You do not know. So if you don't know, what do you got to do? Well, here's the key. You got to get into new ponds. You've got to learn from new people. And it's going to be people different in different industries and different leaders and different levels. And you've got to get to where you're learning soft skills. What is a soft skill? Soft skill is how you deal with people. A great example is dealing with teams. Now, you may go, yeah, I've got a team. I tell them what to do and they do it. And, we go out and we have a cool culture and all this kind of. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about creating a high-performing team that grows the business. If you stepped away from it for 6 months, you could come back and the business is doing better. How do you do that? It's a skill set. It's not just hiring a bunch of good people. It's literally, I read a book by Phil Jackson called 11 Rings, and he talked about how do you get the top level people and put them all on the same team together and make them work together. It is a skill set. You've got to learn the nuances of those, and it's very important. So that's huge. All right, number 3, that's it. Do you think you know what you don't know? And I'm just telling you that you don't. All right, number 4 is this. You don't live by systems and processes. You do not live by systems and processes. If your business is operating off of your gut, you are not going to create a business that runs without you. Your business at first needs to operate off gut. As an entrepreneur, you need to sniff out where the opportunity is, find the market, and then once you find the market, you need to sell to the market. After you sell to the market, this is where most people, they think they were successful. They go, oh, I'm doing great in my market. We're making $600,000 a year. We're making, $1.2 million a year. That's wonderful. Your gut got you there. But your gut that got you there will get you stuck. Your gut is not what you need to depend on to get to the next level. Now, there are gut level decisions that you need to make, but not every day, not every week, every month. Your business is built on, especially today, data, and knowing the data, knowing the numbers, and knowing the processes, and having every single component of your business broken down to say, I know that when we do this, we produce that. That everything is measured, everything is monitored, and even your staff has measurables and monitors, and you literally have processes that are written down. I'm talking about writing down everything and living by it. Let me give you an example. At the Rocket Company, when I was looking and I was learning the skill set of how do you create a business that's process driven? Everybody talks about systems and processes, and nobody really knows what it is. Nobody really has, not nobody, but most entrepreneurs, they get the concept. We understand the concept, but when it comes down to does it truly operate that way? The answer is oftentimes no. And so here's the deal. So creating what we use is called Sweet Process, and it's a platform that you go in. I created a video series. It's an 18-part video series that literally is how to sell on video. That's what it was. Because for 4 years, I'd spent my time on webinars and videos selling stuff. And I was doing these things and trying to do pitches and all this kind of stuff and sell stuff. And that's in that business. And I had a good time, but I'm glad I don't do it anymore. But the point is, instead of me continuing to do that, I created a video series inside of Sweet Process, and it was step by step. And then I was able to take it to other people and say, watch this. Don't talk to me about it. I've already done it. And I did the video series. I wrote everything down, all the scripts, put it all in one place. It took about 2 to 3 days to get it all out of my head, all in the Sweet Process. And then other people, and still to this day, there's other people that can use that and do use that to sell on video. So I don't have to. How often are you actually doing that? How often? And that was my sweet spot. That was what, if people said, that's what you're the best in the world at, it was that. But I knew to create the business that would run without me, I had to get away from it. And so that was something that we did. Are you writing things down, especially the stuff that you're good at? Are you teaching and taking people along with you? And do you have a process system and a process map in place that allows other people to follow along the systems to get to the next level? If you don't, you'll never create the business that runs without you. That's number 4. Number 5 is this. Is that you don't have predictable income. This is just plain as day. Here's the reality. You've got an ATM, you don't have an asset. An ATM machine you walk up to, you put in the card, just like putting in your work, and then you get your money out of it. But you got to go keep getting money out of it. An asset is like having, let's just say, a paid off rental house that every single month, there's some problems and sometimes the air conditioner breaks and you still got to deal with it. But there's a consistent cash flow that comes whether you show up or not. And most entrepreneurs have no idea how to create predictable income for their business. Most entrepreneurs are addicted to the one-time sell, the sell it once, to sell the product once, the most famous thing right now is the product launch formula. Everybody wants to do, let's do product launch. And listen, I love product launch. I'll probably do a product launch in the future. But if that's the sole thing of your business, you can never create the business that runs without you. Sure, you can make a bunch of money, but if you make a bunch of money and you still don't have an asset that's producing and running without you, you've got to come back to the table. You've got to come back to the drawing board. And if that's what you want to do, wonderful, do it. But if you want to create that true asset, that true recurring revenue, it is huge. And so I did this in 2010 into 11, and I was a consultant and I was selling stuff one time and I was doing that. And we moved to a membership model. And in moving to the membership model, what we found is that having that monthly consistent recurring revenue, that's what created a business that could run without me. And here's the deal. not nobody, but very few businesses sell without having a predictable or a consistent recurring revenue model in your business. The way to create the massive amount of upside in your business is to have predictable, consistent paying revenue. And in most businesses, there's opportunity for that, but you got to know where to look and you got to know how to do it. It doesn't matter if it's a service business. It doesn't matter if it's a product business or restaurant business. It doesn't matter. You can create recurring revenue in the business, but you've got to develop the skills to be able to do it. So how do you do it? Well, listen, that's why we've created this test. I'm telling you, you need to go take the test. You need to jump in, and we've got some resources and some help. I've got a 25-minute video on the back side of the test that walks through the 5 different processes of a business that you've got to be in, and it's huge. CaseyGraham.com/score, CaseyGraham.com/score. Go there, get your score, see how well you're doing at creating a business that runs without you. And I promise I can help you with this. And I want to help you with this. So you can leave a comment below, share the video. I'd love for you to share the video. I'd love for you to share the podcast. I'd love for you to share this. And I want you to create that business that runs without you. I can't wait to see you do it. These are the 5 reasons. Number 1, you hire to your weaknesses. Bad mistake. Number 2, you do more than you delegate. Bad mistake. You got to change. Number 3, you think you know what you don't know, but you don't. Number 4 is that you live by systems and process. You don't live by systems and process. And then number 5, you don't have predictable income. So I want you to take these. Think about them. Go get your score, CaseyGraham.com/score. Get this done. And I want to see you go to the next level with predictable revenue, with a business that runs without you and that ultimately one day you're able to exit and sell. Can't wait to see you guys on the next episode.